There we go. Alright, we're back in court, aren't we? Welcome back. We have to deal with these blokes. Court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now. I have to remember my voices. You'll describe in detail what you witnessed and heard at the time of the incident. Witness's account.
We saw the whole thing from start to finish, we did. Everything from the moment they went in the building.
It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside that we all heard a big bang.
It seems to be that the quick to talk is quick to walk. Gregson couldn't wait to go and see what happened. I ran to the room and there he was, the Reaper, gun in hand, standing over the dead body.
I was scared of after death, me, so I ran off to find a copper. If these witnesses were here the whole day and saw everything, I do like her. I do like her. She gives me vibes of like the Case 2 flower seller from the Layton crossover. What did they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused, Baruch von Zieks.
I seen pictures of that Reaper in the paper. I know what he looks like. And just between us, Hawk loves stories like this. I've made myself a tidy sum already.
But wait! The room was just one of several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it. All those flats on Fresno Street are unoccupied.
Of course they are. They're small, damp, dirty, and expensive to boot.
The room in which the inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased. And we know the leaseholder's name, don't we? It's Hugh Boone. The testimony the court has just heard would appear to leave little room for doubt. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than the defendant could have committed the crime. No! Thank you for your candor, my lord. As for the defense, you may proceed to cross-examine the witness. Yes, my lord. Closed court like this without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. To break down this testimony, somehow. Alright, what can we do?
Hold it!
When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Inspector Gregson and the defendant, Lord Van Zieks?
Oh, I suppose so. The likes of us don't know the names of the high and mighty. But I'll tell you one thing. It was the old Reaper that went in last, that's for sure and certain.
Just behind Inspector Gregson, did they arrive at the same time as each other?
No, not at all. The first fellow must have gone inside a good 15 minutes before we heard that gunshot.
Victim arrived 15 minutes before. Are you sure about that?
Am I sure? Doesn't seem likely that I'd have forgotten a fellow with bright red hair like that, does it?
Yeah, his hair really well red, weren't it? Redder than my flaming fireworks, even.
That fiery red mob still burnt on the inside of my eyelids, that is.
Wait a minute. You're saying the man was a redhead?
Weren't you listening, chum? Ah, he was a redhead. And a big drunk with him as well.
Redhead? Inspector Gregson's hair isn't red, not by any stretch of the imagination. It seemed likely that the person you saw wasn't in fact Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party. No, I hate to break it to you, but the witnesses are correct. Because if memory serves... What? Red hair piece. Where are you, Toby? Are you not in the court record? Oh, there you are. Let's have a look at this photograph of the victim taken at the scene. Oh, new evidence. Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, all right. And a red hairpiece. Ah, of course. We saw one of those on the floor when he investigated the scene, didn't we? I still refuse to believe Inspector Gregson wore a hairpiece, though. Then why on earth would he have been wearing something like that? To infiltrate the Red-Headed League. Like what Sholmes was trying to do, except Sholmes was just trying to make money. And the color does seem to suit the man, one might say. Photograph will be submitted as evidence, please, Counsel. And what became of the trunk that the red-headed victim was supposedly carrying? I was informed that no trunk was found at the scene. You're not concerned about that? So it just disappeared? What? Do you expect us to have been watching the building every second, do you? We definitely saw him in the dock going in, though. No question about that. Less than a minute after the Reaper had got inside that we all heard a big bang. Oops, don't know. Yeah. I'm hitting the wrong button.
Hold it!
By which presumably you mean the gunshot. I sell these little things, don't I? How would I know what a gunshot sounds like? I've always thought it probably sounds a bit like this, doesn't it? You say that you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw the defendant here enter the building? That's right. It was almost straight away. Bang, it went. Just like that.
Well, he's the Reaper, isn't he? It's what the French call a fait accompli. When the Reaper's around, people are going to the ground. I mean, that's what he does, isn't it?
I think we get the message. The Reaper couldn't allow the Inspector to live after he discovered his secret hideout. There can be no clearer motive for this crime. Yes. Certainly an eminently credible motive. Right. At that point, you ran inside. Is that correct? Quick to talk is quick to walk. Of course, I couldn't wait to go and see what happened. Yeah, that tracks. So when Gossip ran to see what had happened, did you go too?
Well, I'm a bit hampered, see? All the signs are that I can't move very well.
You were way behind, presumably. That sandwich board around your neck and that big sign in your hand. What a great burden you bear. Pardon me for asking, Mr. Sandwich, but, is it possible you and I have met before?
I'm not anybody, me. The signs are what make me who I am now. I sign, therefore I am.
You drove the stagecoach back in the first game, Case 3. So, you weren't employed as an omnibus driver just over under a year ago then? Yep, okay, just flat out said it. I might be mistaken, but I believe his trembling has intensified, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I agree. He's clearly been through a lot. We probably did this too. With the whole Magnus Baga. Third down King Henry Street and the Black Widower's Arms is just there. Oh dear. Made him hide behind his sign. Life is full of surprises. The Magnus Begilded child probably did this to him. And us by proxy as being his lawyer, and unintentional accomplices in that. Then you were the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right?
I was. Keep the door open like a professional, I did, and yelled out, "What's going off here?"
Lord Van Zieks claims all he heard was a man scream, though. I mean, obviously he's fluffing himself up there. Was it dark inside the room?
No, not dark at all. There were candles burning on the wall.
Really?
And there was a fella collapsed on the floor. Just between us. The first thing I noticed when I got inside.
Ah, I see. The Lord Van Zieks claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall. Next thing I noticed was someone standing right beside the body. The accused, Berg van Zieks. That's right, the pale-faced Reaper himself. I was a little shocked, I won't deny it, but I'm no lily-livered coward. Stood my ground, gave that Reaper a cold, hard stare myself. Are you sure about that?
Excuse me!
Do you have something to add, Mr. Sandwich? There's really nothing to me. Empty in the head I am. Just 2 slices with no middle. What are you? An idiot sandwich, my lord. So I don't know what you could want with me. I think that maybe you just remembered something? I figured Mr. Gossip's latest statement, I mean. Well, what I think is we're all nothings, really. We try to dress ourselves up as something else, but at the end of the day, we're all just street sellers. That's enough out of you, Sandwich. Keep your trap shut now. Unless you want us to make you a real sandwich. When he saw the Reaper, he screamed. He fell clean over on his backside. That's it. Oh, you rotten beggar. I told you to keep that a secret. I wanted to look cool in court. He screamed, he did. Screamed and scrambled off on all 4s. That's all I wanted to say. Mr. Gossip, is this true? The floor was dead slippery, that's why. I feel like I had to read that with just condescension. Instead of lawyer voice. I guess like, yeah, is this fucking true? Are you serious? My dude. Planted my hand in a filthy pool of blood, didn't I? Yuck. Yeah. What? Pool of blood? Well, listen here. Even when I was sprawled on the floor, I still kept giving that Reaper a cold hard stare, and don't you forget it. Let's just go back a little. You say you got blood on your hand? I did. It happens to the best of us at times, doesn't it? I was scared. I slipped over. We can keep it just between us, can't we? No, Mr. Gossip. I'm going to have to ask you to add that information to your formal testimony. Oh, if I must. But so then his testimony to include the aforementioned details at once. What does this mean to us, and what do you think it comes from? Gun. Okay, that feels like the obvious question here. There's like no smudging. Oh.
Hold it!
You wiped your hand on the floor. Well, once blown his hand, eh? Horrible stuff. They might have thought I'd done it. No tar. And you didn't think that might be a problem? Doesn't really matter if I left a few grubby handprints on the floor. They'll get cleaned up in the end, won't they? Don't make such a fuss. That's the message from all of us. Nah. Is something wrong, Counsel? No, my lord. Didn't remember anything in the report about a bloody handprint on the floor, that's all. Don't come at me with all that. You can't intimidate me. I know what I did. I wiped it off. On the floor. The blood. I wonder, that be what happened? Mr. Naruhodo, I don't have all the answers yet. I think we may have just uncovered a vital clue. So you have to say first?
it!
So you didn't run into the room with your friends. I'm not that sort of girl. Sorry? I'm a timid little thing, me. I was too scared to go in there. I would survive the horror movie. I'd stay back and let the guys die. Let the reckless idiots die, and then just throw a whole bundle of fireworks in and run away. Smart girl. Oh, right, I see. Oh, Lippy and the witch went in there, and then I heard a sort of old lady scream.
Well, that wasn't me, I swear. If I were a gentleman, I'd stake my honor on it.
I wondered what on earth was going on.
Just when you went to find a policeman.
And I ran into a copper as soon as I turned the corner. So I brought him straight back to the place. Didn't I do well, eh?
Just between us, that copper's eyes nearly popped out of his head when he saw the Reaper.
Oh, I've never felt more uncomfortable in all my life.
The defendant was arrested on the spot, I believe.
Considering the catalogue of killings the Reaper has carried out, it was a particularly inauspicious end. I can't find any holes in this testimony. Maybe the judge will give a ruling of guilty, Mr. Naruhodo. Truth is, though, their combined testimony is fairly damning. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any obvious problems with their statements, do there? Still, Lord Van Zieks really is innocent, and I'm almost certain we'll find something in there that doesn't quite add up. You don't think? One of these three could be the true culprit, do you? I don't know. But what do I know? What I do know is that there's more to this case that is yet to be brought to light. Alright. There we go. Let's just do this.
Objection!
False! My lord, there are clearly grounds for being suspicious of that last statement. I'm sorry, counsel, but I fail to see why. Well, you know, we're just playing devil's advocate. Yes, you do appear to have something of the devil in you, Mr. Naruhodo. Ouch. Is the man merely dishing out penalties? Okay, where do we go from here, then? Blood on the floor.
Objection!
False. Oh, bollocks. That last statement was contradictory in a number of ways, I think you'll find. Number of ways, you say? That's right, my lord. A number of ways. So it'd serve you well to concentrate your efforts on one contradiction at a time, counsel. I made a bit of a mess of that. A number of ways, actually. This is going well. Alright. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's a bloody handprint on the backside.
Objection!
So you wiped off the blood from your hand on the floor of the room. Are you quite sure about that? Does this mean that the board was overturned? Well, what else do you expect me to have done, eh? Does it really matter?
Objection!
Sogi? The police found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations. What exactly is the defense asserting?
Objection!
If you listen, you'll find out. Prosecutor Sogi. Certainly, there was no bloody handprint found. On the floor. What are you trying to say? It was a handprint and the blood left very clearly at the scene. On the back of this notice board. Ah, yes, indeed. Indisputably, a handprint in the distinctive color of blood. Aye, you're dead right. That's my right hand. I'd know it anywhere. What?
Objection!
Actual hero. It is very definitely testified that he wiped his hand on the floor. And the handprints on the back of the board are irrelevant.
Objection!
Not if the board itself had fallen over onto the floor. In that case, it's quite possible for the witness's handprint to have ended up there. Just look at the floor plan of the room. Notice what was in the opposite corner of the room to the victim and in an upright position. If it had somehow been toppled and was lying on the floor at the time, would have been a considerable distance from the body. I fell over when I came across the body. I was basically right next to the corpse, not on the other side of the room. In other words, the defense's assertion is contradictory. Yes, it is. There's a very definite contradiction here, for which there must be a reason. There's a very real bloody handprint on the floor, so on the board, so we fucking win this one, Asoki. I take it that you formulated a proper hypothesis, Counsel, regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witness's account and the handprint found at the scene. I have, my lord. Discrepancy between the witness's account and the location of the handprint is explained by... Oh, great. I'm going to be judged for this. Bollocks to Vista. Board moving. Okay. The contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. Goodness gracious, so it is! But as I put his hand against the board, the finger should be pointing upwards. What does this tell us? It tells one simple fact. This handprint was made. The board has been lying on the floor, as I previously suggested. It means that after the incident, it must have been moved. What?
Objection!
You're claiming that somebody moved the notice board after the shooting. And tell the court who? I don't know that yet. But the point is, when you consider all the testimony we've heard so far, we can now be very clear on one point. And what that would be, the position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord. Oh, Counsel, I must ask you to clarify your assertion for the court. That means that where do you maintain the notice board was situated? Oh boy. Oh boy. We need to think about this. E. Could realistically say here, blocking out the light. There was like somewhere in here would explain the lights being out. Then it was knocked down. That. Hello.
Take that!
This is the only possible location. Immediately adjacent to the doorway. But we'll think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier. He said that when he entered the room, it was dark, and he couldn't see the body. Ah, yak! Notice board had been here. The body would have been completely hidden from view. The light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection!
But the accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him. That's true. Or, in his precise words, just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. Only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. Well, I don't know about calling it a scream, but he was talking about me and no mistake. So it was me that kicked the door open. Look again at the floor plan. Consider what would happen if the door to the room was thrown open with force. Ooh. That can't. That's smart. The door struck the notice board, knocking it over and making the victim's body invisible. Good gracious! Smart. My client has told nothing but the truth. He has simply described what he saw. Ah. Order, order. Counsel, how has this not come to light before now? After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it into the position where the police, myself, and my colleagues saw it when investigating the room. Witness, what have you to say for yourself? What? Me, my lord? You and your fellows were there at the scene before anyone else. Goes without saying that you must know something about the position of the notice board. Mrs. in the stand will testify again. You will each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime. Stop looking over your glasses at me, I get the message. Mystery of the moving board. I don't know anything about that there notice board. I just wipe my hand on it, that's all. But don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me. Just a sign at the crossroads of life. Was that Reaper, I bet? He's got a face that screams, boy. I can't see how this changes anything anyways. The detective still died when we heard the gunshot. So none of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see. You can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened. That's right, yeah. It don't pay to expect too much. It's man's endless quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I think. Do you? Really? In any case, as this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by someone following the incident, it makes no difference. The gunshot rang out. The accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could possibly have committed this crime is Baruch van Zieks. None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so, quite so. The defense still wishes the witness to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances. Of course, most certainly, my lord. Very well, then you may proceed, counsel. Let's see what happens here.
Hold it!
So you admit that it was the board you wiped your bloody hand on? Admit it? What's to admit? Oh, it's there, plain as day for all to see. A smashing print of my right hand. I just wanted to hide that handprint. So you righted the notice board and pushed it into the corner, didn't you? No! Imagine the weight of that grey-haired lump. I look like a powerful and well-nurtured man. Did you see anybody else moving the board? Oh, I've got nerves of steel, I can tell you, but even I have my limits. There was a body on the floor in front of me, and the Grim Reaper himself standing over it. And there was precious little light inside either. The bottom lip was all a quiver. In other words, this witness is unable to give definite testimony on that point. Yes, so it would seem. Don't look at me. Alright.
Hold it!
I am looking at you. When you say you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling them fireworks. And yeah, what else? There's the Priory School just round the corner, see? These cheeky little so-and-sos have got a plan to blow their school to kingdom come. Ah. I've been telling on them, letting their teachers know what they're up to. Oh, you have? Oh yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt. So I let the school know the kids are playing with dodgy toys. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks off of them. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids all come back to me to buy more. Everyone's happy, see?
Pro tier bracket.
Of course. And sometimes the teachers give me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. Busy old life, send explosives. Venus is a gift. Venus is a guileless goddess indeed. Well, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing, really. We were so good at it. Oh boy.
Excuse me.
Alright, Sandwich. Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? If I said it was, could we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it? No. Did Miss Venus's statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Philosophical thoughts. Deep philosophical thoughts. Huh? Let's say there was a great liar. And that great liar said without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing, and we were so good at it. Would those words of hers be a lie, too? Or the truth? In which case, she's not a liar.
Oh boy, existential crisis time.
Oh, it's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But it seems to be you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, aren't you? What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that. And I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set them off. I'll give you something to tremble about. Yeesh. You have a startlingly disturbing mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady. Yeah. So Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? What is? What's going on? Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you elaborate, please, sir? Oh, blabbermouth, he headed for the room where the gunshots seemed to come from. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs. Crept up the stairs behind him, too. That's right, that rotten liar over there. I mean, do you mean to say that you did in fact betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all? What I did tell you. What did I tell you, eh? I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I? Yes, you mentioned it. So, well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it? Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? So you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief! Well, now you come to mention it, I suppose perhaps I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah? Either you clearly remember it or you don't. Well, I shall consider a fitting punishment for this perjurous act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth. Oh yes, my lord, of course. This is a fun group dynamic. A little peek in the room where it all happened, alright.
Hold it!
You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus? Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair. If you want my advice there, I'd take everything I say with a big pinch of salt. Alright, but you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed the day in question, didn't you? Oh please, as if I would. I can't think of anything more terrifying. The truth, please. Well, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age is curious about stuff, you know? Did you touch anything at the scene? Oh, please, as if I would. I mean, there was a dead body on the floor. The truth, please. Well, alright, just a bit then. I had a look to see if there was anything I could sell. So I did give the place a once-over, but it was nothing to write home about. Right. Now, I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you? Oh, please, as if I would touch anything like that. The few bits of loose change is all I had. The truth, please. Well, alright then. Thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flippin' thing. Sorry, flipped the blasted thing. Oh, great. You're telling us that you did move that board? I think that did slip out, didn't it? What? You daft bonpot! I don't believe it. The girl doesn't think. So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps? The cell? Oh, please, I should be so lucky. In my imagination, the truth! Now! I might have found this old pocket watch under the notice board, I suppose. But a bit of junk like this can't be worth much if you ask. Ah! Gina! So it was you, was it? You're the one who took it. Gina? Young lady, may I remind you where you are? That watch there. That was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard for a big case he solved 10 years ago. Professor case, no doubt. That boss used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub. I see. I swiped it off him once and blimey was he upset. He gave me a right earful. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years, polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did. Curious about something. Okay, not relevant to this then. This is just... Oh yeah, obviously that picture would be Professor, because Clint is alive. Maybe not the best thing to go diving for then. Yeah, it's not all that though. Took it to James that night to ask how much it was worth, but the old dealer wouldn't touch it. Won't give me a penny for it. That it wasn't working. Knocked about and worthless, he called it. I knew I should have lifted it. That watch must be submitted as evidence at once. Oh, please. It's just so long as you promise to give it back when we're done. Not a chance. I'll swipe it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again. That's enough. Hand the watch to the bailiff forthwith. Now, children, watch your manners. Respect to Gina for calling it out. Good lord! The glass appears to be broken. More than likely, it shattered when the inspector was shot. It doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why James didn't want it. What a waste, eh? Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5. Exactly when the gunshot was heard, then. Which supports the prosecution's claim, of course. Well, it would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board has been solved, at least. There's a tiny little keyhole here. Can you see? Oh yes, that's probably for the winder used to wind up the mechanism. It's a little unusual, don't you think? Yes, you'd need just the right key to wind it, I imagine. Why do I feel as though I've seen something? Something a bit like a key that's about the right size to fit this hole. It'd be wonderful if we had the key. Let's check carefully what we've already found. Interesting. The glass over the face really is badly cracked. Look. What a shame, but the inspector clearly looked after it so carefully. Imagine Mr. Sholmes could repair it, don't you? Yes, I should think so. He's very adept at things like this. A useful man to have around, in fact. Kindly remember that he's a great detective, Mr. Naruhodo, not an odd job man. I'm sure if we paid him, he would do it for the rent. What is this? It's a tiny little stub sticking out from this small hole here. Look. I suppose there must have been a little knob or something on that for setting the time. In that case, seeing as we know the inspector took such good care of this watch, probably broke where the incident occurred, didn't it? Yes, of course. It could mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene, maybe. Shh. Casual side quest where we can find this in the pit. How do we activate you again? Helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear. Ah, what's that? Rotate. Susato, I think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Gregson's watch? Oh, yes, it could be. Let's try it at once. There's not a moment to lose. I knew it. A perfect fit. And look! Inspector's watch has started going again. Ah, so it has obviously just not been wound up, that's all. What is it, Miss Susano? Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all, I feel it could have profound implications. She's deep in thought now. It didn't break at the time of the murder. It just kept ticking. Perhaps I better start thinking deeply, too. What a curious little puzzle. As predicted, it has very little bearing on the case. Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please, Counsel. Wow, we're only two statements in. We've already just had bloody rocked this thing. But you did go to see what had happened in the room, didn't you? Fresno Street is my whole world. It's all I know, and I know all of it. I have to make it my business to know if I want to hold my sign up high. So you did go to see what had happened. It's not the destination that's important, it's how you get there, isn't it? Did you notice the notice board in the room? If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we? Both different members of the same sign family. So if I'd spotted it, I might have tried to trip it up out of sense of rivalry, I admit. Someone really needs to tell you that you're Homo sapiens, not Homo sinians. Boo. Does that mean that you didn't notice the board? And I can only repeat what I said before. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me. I'm just a sign at the crossroads of life. In which case, just who was responsible for moving the notice board? We've skipped ahead a little bit. So what's our goal of this testimony now? What exactly do you mean by that? Oh, come on now. Don't tell us you have not noticed. He looks like he hates everything in the world, that fella. What, not notice boards? They're the one thing he likes. You can see it in his eyes. I can't say I'd ever noticed. Bored. I'll tell you the one thing for free, though. I never took my eyes off the man on the floor, or off the Reaper, not for a second. Sorry? Well, I was that scared I couldn't. You never know what a fiend like that might do if you look away, do you? If you didn't take your eyes off the defendant. we should be able to confirm categorically whether or not he was the one who moved the notice board. No, that I can. And we put it not into the sword. Well, I can swear to that. I couldn't have missed it if he'd heaved the thing upright and again and dragged it into the corner. Right. Glad we've cleared that up. What happened to the face that screams bored? Feel your pain, Cosmo. Aren't you there? Ah, okay.
Hold it!
Forgot about that. In all the excitement, I forgot about that last statement. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it? Maybe the notice board fell over. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over. Or maybe I didn't. But the Reaper's fate is sealed either way because of that gunshot we all heard. So your fate's sealed too. My fate? That's right. The defense is fated to lose. And the prosecution to win. In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. We could just find some problem with that part of their story. It may be possible to change all of our fates. Well, of course, none of that changes the fact that I heard what I heard, does it? Not much to go on. As you pointed out, Mr. Naruhodo, there's no question that the notice board was moved. Somebody must have done it. It did happen after the event, so maybe Cosmo is right, and it's not relevant to the case. But it seems to have been deliberately positioned so as to hide the body from view. So I feel sure that there's some deeper significance to all of this. Yes, I know what you mean. Like, at this point in these games, this is a multi-layered puzzle. Like, if playing through the adventures hadn't conditioned you to, like, instantly rub your face against every piece of evidence that it lets you, you'd be stuck on this for a while, I feel like. Like, I rubbed my face in that toy soldier, found the keyhole, rubbed my face against the watchman, picked it up, found the keyhole, and then, having updated the toy soldier to include the key, then you trigger the dialogue that says, hey, we found something that could fit this. Then you go back, examine the key, and then you update this, and then you get the implications. I've no doubt that there are more clues to be uncovered. You're on the right track, I can feel it. So follow your instincts. Alright then. Don't know if the hinting, the in-game hinting, is that clear, but this is definitely one that plays upon your experience with the game. So we have to present this, right?
Objection!
I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case. Oh. The scene. We found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key? Having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it in fact still works. It in fact still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. That fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises on which this entire case has been built. What? Order, order, order! But counsel, the watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock. Yeah, which is just when we had that gunshot. It is exactly the hour. The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It's merely a coincidence that it happened to be at 5 o'clock.
Objection!
Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. That's obviously when this crime was committed.
Objection!
No, that doesn't hold. Why not? Why not? We called one Inspector Lestrade, said only moments ago. Boss used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for a grub to come at the pub. That he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years, polishing it and winding it. Meant the world to him, that watch did. Victor was in the habit of winding his watch once a day, in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well. Yes, that would be entirely reasonable. And if that's the case, wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day. Oh, aye. Well, how do you explain it then? Summary. The evening before the day of the incident, the gunshot rang out in that room. The inspector was already unable to wind his watch. You can't mean... What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer, that he was already dead. Oh boy. Order, order. Counsel, that is the most extraordinary claim.
Objection!
Extraordinary isn't the word. It's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before? Do you really think that Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that? Well, what does Scotland Yard's coroner say? That Scotland Yard's coroner has nothing to say in the matter. On that subject, there is something rather surprising. There's actually an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted. Oh, that's right. Wait a minute, you're forgetting that my legs went under me when I kicked the door in. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like I said, I planted my end in a dirty great puddle of blood. Yes, the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh. He catches on fast, doesn't he?
Objection!
The blood could be explained in any number of ways. Could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's body after... Okay, it's a little... Ocean, does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available on every street corner? Okay, okay, Cosmo Van Zeeks. Ah! Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. You've been told previously that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human. A problem is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities. So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example. Certainly a possibility that it wasn't the inspector's blood at all.
Objection!
The gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's beyond question. Is it, though? What? Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, it is beyond the realms of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all. Oh, please, what are you trying to say? I was not know what we heard. It was a loud bang that came from their room. Yeah, you all describe it as a loud bang, not a gunshot. Now you listen to me. A street seller's ears are his livelihood. Oh, there's just your fucking omnibus whip. I don't doubt your ears, sir. But all you can state with certainty is that you heard a noise. Eh? Blame yourself then, counsel. A noise that sounds like a gunshot could have been made with... with what? With a gun, obviously. I genuinely don't know what to answer here. Maybe my mind's just getting ahead of myself. Same thing with the fact that they mentioned the case.
Take that!
Well, the culprit could have used something like this, for example. Oh, really? Demonstration is in order then, I fear. What? You're gonna get me, aren't you? Yes, please, show the court how you could use that to create a noise like a gunshot. We're waiting, counsel. I may have been mistaken. It looks like you've been making a lot of noise yourself. Mr. Naruhodo, are you gonna penalize me? Yeah, you fucker! Capcom's gonna devastating me with words in English, too. You fucker.